So just sitting up nice and tall. Do you want to go in there? Off you go. Just taking a moment just to close your eyes. Just giving yourself time just to settle and arrive on your mat this morning. Taking a moment to explore your full experience of you. Starting with the physical layers of the body. Just noticing all the different sensations that are showing up in the body this morning. Then checking in with yourself mentally and emotionally. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Bringing your awareness to your breath. Just noticing the rise and fall of each breath as you breathe in and out through the nose. Noticing the texture and the quality of the breath. And taking a moment to set an intention for this practice this morning. We'll begin with a gentle hum, so that's soft Ujjayi breath. And from your Ujjayi into the hum, just feeling that warming vibration. To lengthen your breath, keeping it soft. So humming alone begins to stimulate your vagus nerve. And continue, so helps to bring you into presence. Connecting you with your heart, your body, your mind. And then maybe a little toning, creating that ah sound, relaxing your jaw. And then stay with the hum or stay with the ah or move to an to finish and begin our class. And staying for a moment with that after effect. We're opening, creating space for our practice. And then moving into our first shape, which is our long-legged butterfly. So sitting up high on your sit bones, we're going to take any blocks, any bolsters from beneath us, bringing the soles of the feet together and shifting them as far away from the body as we can while they're still connected. We'll sit up nice and tall, so lift your ribs away from your pelvis and hinge from your hip crease. Just see where the body stops, where the resistance is, and then just soften into it. Close your eyes. If it's comfortable, drop your head. Feel free to use supports underneath your feet or underneath your head, what works for you here. And then come to a place where we remain still and keep softening our edges. Staying present with any tension that may creep in to guard, to protect us. Softening into that. Paying attention to which side of the body are you generating more sensation here. What is the quality of that sensation? And does it remain the same, or is there constantly change here? Your focus here is blending your awareness with your body, bodily sensations, and your breath. Also noticing any emotions that arise, noticing when the mind comes in to distract you, and just keep coming back to that focus. Where am I generating the most sensation in my body right now? Is it possible to soften a little bit more, to feel a little bit more? And use your breath as that support. Breathing into tight spaces. Notice if you're beginning to grip or hold. Come back to the edges, come back to the breath. Now when you're ready, we'll slowly, mindfully begin to make your way back out. Take your time as we shift back to a seat and place the feet on the floor, hands behind you. And when you're ready, we just begin to ease your legs to the right, back to center and to the left. And we can turn the gaze over the opposite shoulder as we slowly release that rebound effect working through the body. And then we're going to make our way into our next shape, which is our pigeon, or otherwise known as swan in our yin class. So we're going to use a bolster here. Obviously, if you don't have a bolster, you don't want to use one, that's absolutely fine. We'll take your right heel over towards the left side of the bolster. Now, depending on your flexibility, you might need to shift that right knee forward into the center of the mat. But if you feel okay, we're going to slide that right knee back so it's on the bolster and walk your left leg behind you. We'll come up into this high pigeon to start as we settle and align our hips here. Walking that left leg back behind you, it's long and the front of the hip is resting on the bolster. Draw your right sit bone back, and so much so that you can access the glute muscles, the buttock muscles here. And then keep it drawn back as you lengthen the spine, lowering down onto your forearms first, and then perhaps all the way down or just onto a block. What works for you here? The head can even just rest on a block here, as long as we're keeping that length in the spine, and then we soften and let gravity work through the body. Notice, where are you generating the most sensation? Is it a subtle sensation? Or are you experiencing a deeper sensation? Notice if you're tensing anywhere here unnecessarily. What can you soften? Breathe into the sensations you're experiencing. And now slowly, mindfully begin to walk yourself back. We'll take the hands on the bolster as we send that right foot onto the floor in front of you. We'll come into a little counter pose here, a little half Hanuman as you stretch the toes back towards your body, just flushing out the back of the leg here. And if it feels comfortable, we can just fold over and we curl the toes back. And then from here, we'll plant that right foot on the floor, making our way into our baby dragon. So hands can either come onto the blocks or the floor. Walk that left leg back behind you as far as it will go, so we can access the quads, the front of the left thigh, the hip flexor. If it's uncomfortable for the knee, just place something underneath that left knee. Drop your shoulders away from the ears. Head can be lifted or lowered or moved at any stage. Everything else remains still. And then from here, we'll take the block on the right side, bring it over to the left side. We'll come into a low flying dragon here. So either keeping your hands on the blocks or forearms on the blocks, whatever works for you. We can either turn that right foot out 45 degrees or come onto the knife edge of that right foot. Just drop onto the outer foot as we drop the knee out to the side. You may need to adjust that left knee on the floor. See what works for you here as we saddle. This lizard variation, low flying dragon. How much can you relax that right knee out? Releasing the hip flexors, the groin. Keeping the neck long, shoulders away from the ears. And then slowly, mindfully walking out. Take your time. I'm going to make a way to sit back on your heels and then just pause there. Hands on your thighs, shoulders away from your ears as you close your eyes. See if you can notice the difference left and right side body. Does that right hip, the right leg feel a lot more grounded, closer to the floor? Does that right shoulder feel lower than the left? As the energy through that right side of the body is moving more efficiently. And then we'll switch over to the other side, starting with our swan or pigeon. Taking the left leg forward, that left heel over towards the right side of the bolster. And then you choose the position of the knee. So if your hips are feeling a bit tighter, all the way forward. Or if they're feeling okay, we can draw the knee back towards the bolster. Extend that right leg behind you as we set up here. Drawing that left sit bone back as far as it will go. Right hip bone is moving onto the bolster or in that direction. And then when you're ready, we'll lower down onto forearms or hands or onto a block. See what works for you. Notice, is there any resistance to settle here? Notice where you're generating the most sensation and rest your awareness there, breathing in and out of that sensation. Notice any tightening or gripping. Any unnecessary holding. And just continually softening. Softening into your edges. Slowly, mindfully begin to walk yourself back, taking your time. And we'll place that left foot on the floor. And then just come into this little mini half Hanuman, just stretching over that left leg. Hands on your bolster or the floor here as you curl the toes back towards your body. And then from here, we'll place that left foot on the floor, hands on the floor or blocks for our baby dragon. Walking that right knee back behind you, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then from here, our low flying dragon or lizard variation. So bring both blocks onto the right side. We'll either turn that left foot out 45 degrees or just drop onto the knife edge, dropping that left knee out to the side. You can stay up on your hands, come to a combination of forearm and hand, or all the way down onto your forearms. Let's see what works for your body today. Just paying attention to any holding, any gripping. Accessing the inner thigh, the groin, hamstrings. And slowly, mindfully, come back. Walk yourself all the way back behind the bolster. And we'll just sit back on your heels for a moment. Just take that little pause. Hands on thighs and close your eyes. Now from here we're going to shift our emphasis onto the upper body with our heart to earth pose. So this can be done against the door or a wall if it's just too intense for your shoulders. We will kneel in close to the wall or door, place your hands nice and wide and sink the heart in. Otherwise we'll do it on the mat, starting from hands and knees, tabletop. Knees are directly underneath your hips, and keep them there as you walk your hands forward and sink your heart down towards the floor. If you can, keep your elbows lifted, but if not, you can bring those forearms and elbows to the floor if it's too intense. As you sink your heart down, just feel your sit bones rising. And then we're accessing from underneath your shoulder blades and all the way underneath the arms, deep into the shoulders and chest here. Just one more breath in here. Inhale. And we'll slowly, mindfully walk ourselves back, sitting back on the heels, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, maybe even just rotating the wrists slowly here. And changing direction. So anytime we're working with the heart and the chest, that's going to work its way down through the wrists. And let's just roll out the shoulders. Now coming to our Paschimottanasana, our seated forward fold, or otherwise known as caterpillar in our yin. So sitting up on your bony sit bones here, feel free to keep a bend in your knees or even place a bolster or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees. Some people like to use a bolster on their lap. For me, my upper body's too short to make this work because I wouldn't be able to fold over it. But if you have got more space between your ribs and your pelvis than I do, you might like to use a bolster on your lap here or in between your legs to support you. You can also use a block somewhere in the center to make your way, like for your forehead to go down there too. If not, you can just allow your upper body to hang. Inhale, lift, lengthen, ribs away from pelvis. Hinge from your hip crease, and then find a spot to soften into. So you explore your full capacity, full length here. Create as much space as you can, and then support yourself and soften, or just hang if that works for you. And then slowly, mindfully come all the way up. Take your time. Inhale, shoulders up to your ears. Scrunch them up, scrunch your hands and your face. Exhale, release with a sigh. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Scrunch up. Exhale, release. Great. And now we're going to make our way down to the floor. So starting with our twist. So come down, have your block handy for our sacrum reset. And we'll come down to twisted root. So make your way down onto your back into our constructive rest pose. Legs together. We'll take your right leg over left. Lift the hips up. Scoot the hips to the right and drop the knees to the left. Turning the gaze to the right-hand side. Just looking out over that right shoulder as you settle here. Breathing into the sensation that you're generating. Slowly coming back to center to unwind. And then switching sides. Just feeling the earth support you here. Gravity working through you in the twist. What can you let go of here? What can you soften? Slowly unwinding, uncrossing the legs. And making your way into our last shape, which is our back bend. So you have an option for our yin fish, where we take your block underneath your shoulder blades, or come into that bridge reset, that restorative bridge, where we take that block underneath your sacrum. And either way, we're going to relax the body over the block. What does the body need more this morning? A heart opener, or that grounding down through the sacrum, opening up the hip flexors, And just allow your body to soften as I move into the Maha Mantra. So the Maha Mantra is an ancient mantra which speaks directly to the heart. It sometimes can bring up emotion. It's like this mantra touches our vulnerability. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So that Krishna is just, you're chanting to that higher self within you, that all-knowing presence. So join in if you choose. Or just hum along. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now lifting the body off the block, hips or heart. Just shifting that block out of the way as you lower down to the floor. And take time as you stretch out for full Shavasana here. If you're feeling a little cold, just making sure you're covered. On your next exhale, fully surrendering the weight of your body down into the support of the earth beneath. And as our practice begins to close, take this time just to notice what is softened, what is steadied. Nothing needs to be fixed or carried forward perfectly. Simply allow the effects of your practice to settle into your breath, into your body, into the way you meet the rest of your day. May you leave this practice this morning feeling supported and grounded in your own presence. And more connected to yourself. I'm just inviting a deeper breath into your body now. And taking a stretch, whatever way feels right for your body right now. And placing your feet on the floor. And just gently rolling onto your left side, your yin side. Remembering your intention for this practice today. And then slowly, mindfully bringing yourself to a comfortable seat. We'll join our hands together at the heart. We'll take a breath in as we lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And as we exhale, we bow first to our hearts and each other as we seal in the benefits of this morning's practice. Namaste.
Thanks, Tara.
Thank you for joining me this morning.